Coach Krzyzewski chasing that 1,000th win. And while the world stays focused on the prize at hand, we here at Campus Insiders want to know what Coach soon-to-be 1K is like off the basketball court. To do that, we welcome in our Duke insider and Coach K's son-in-law, Chris Spatola. And Chris, you're married to Coach K's youngest daughter, Jamie. Tell us about the early days with Coach K and dating his daughter.
Well, I met Jamie when I was a camper at the Coach K basketball camp. She was working at the concession stand, which shows you how focused I was on becoming a better basketball player. I was picking up Coach K's daughter at the concession stand. But it was interesting. You know, he was this great legendary coach, and she actually, on the last day of camp, the week that I met her, she invited her dad to my last game. And it was a big buzz that Coach K was coming to watch our game. And here I am nervous whether he's coming to watch as the, you know, it's his camp and he's coming to watch as a coach, or if he's coming to check out the guy who had been hitting on his daughter all week. So those were the early days. Nerves, you know, throughout that whole time.
I'm going to assume it was probably a little bit of both, Chris. Am I right?
I hope so. You know, I've never asked him about it to this day, so but I hope it was.
Well, you're one of 3 sons-in-law. Do the 4 of you ever get together for some male bonding time?
A little bit. You know, he doesn't, any bonding time he gets, he wants to do it with his three daughters, and of course they drag us along. But you know, the 4 of us, Coach K has become a big fan of wine. The 3 of us, the 3 sons-in-laws, enjoy it ourselves. He's developed a pretty good collection down in his wine cellars. So when we're over for the holidays, he calls it player's choice. He'll let the 3 of us go down there and sort of pick out our favorite bottles. Of course, we pick out the 3 most expensive. And then we bring them up to him, and he kind of, as Lord of the Manor, gets to pick which one we're going to drink. But usually the fun we have is over a bottle of wine. And if it's his, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, player's choice. I love that. Well, holidays just passed. Does he pick out or give gifts, or does he rely on his wife, Mickey, to do that?
You know, she gets the gifts, but I will tell you what, he picks out his own cards, and he actually puts a ton of thought in it. You know, he goes and he buys them. He goes to Target, or, you know, there's Coach K in the aisle picking out his cards, but he has never missed a birthday of mine or even over the Christmas holidays. And I know for other members of his staff, he's so good at doing that. So I don't know if he does the gift buying. I'm pretty sure he doesn't, but he does really put a lot of time into picking out cards.
That's good to hear. Many men skip the cards. Good to know Coach K relies on those. Speaking of the holidays and birthdays and whatnot, does he text on those days? Is he up to date on his technology?
He is now. You know, he had a flip phone all the way up until about 2 years ago, and he never texted. They got him an iPhone, and he did, but he doesn't. It's funny, he doesn't type his text. He actually voice texts. And the first time I'm actually not a real tech guy either, and I didn't know really how you could do that, your voice texting. And he comes walking into the room one day, and he's talking into the bottom of his phone. And I'm thinking he's gone nuts, or he doesn't know how to use it. Or I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm voice texting," which I thought I'd never hear out of Coach K's mouth. And he actually sat there for about 15 minutes and showed me how to voice text. It did take 15 minutes to learn it, but he texts now. He texts a lot, as you know, guys on the USA team, his own players, but he does it, you know, with his voice.
Yeah, via voice text. Good to know. Finally, Chris, there was an article on his Bocce Ball game and how it can get quite competitive with the family. How much truth is there to that rumor?
Well, if he's telling you he's good, he cheats. He does. I mean, it's like, you know, he'll say he doesn't, but you know, he'll play my wife and I, and we're pretty formidable bocce players. And I always tell, you know, he's got 9 grandkids. They're watching their grandfather, you know, play a nice little friendly game of bocce ball on the beach, and he's, you know, he's talking junk, and he's cheating. You know, he's the most ethical man I've ever met in every facet of his life, except for his bocce ball game. So
to where he cheats.
You brought up a sore subject.
That is so great. Okay, one more question for you, Chris. I know I said finally before, but one more. Do you call him Coach K?
I do. I've called him. Now, he has never said, "Call me Dad," but I would never do that. I knew him before I met my wife. So he was always Coach to me, and out of respect, I have just always called him Coach. And then, of course, it was an easy transition when I was on his staff. So he's always been Coach.
All right, Chris Spatola, our Duke and apparently Coach Krzyzewski insider. Thank you for the stories. We'll catch up with you soon.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Well, as Coach K continues to chase that 1,000th win, we continue to look back at his legacy. Stick with Campus Insiders for all things surrounding Duke, Coach K, and college basketball.